Hello, ID60. So we are going to take a little bit of a break from, I guess, design fundamentals, and we are going to start drawing and applying some of those ideas. So how designers convey their ideas to the trade, whether it's contractors, painters, the people putting in the tile or the cabinets or the wallpaper or painting, is through drawings. So hopefully as a designer, you have 2, 3, 4 jobs going on at one time, and you cannot possibly be every place at once. So your set of drawings is you while you are not there on site. So we're not going to do a lot of learning how to put those drawings together or specify those materials. That would be, of course, there's a class for it, Materials for Interior Design, which is ID 12, and you learn how to put a whole CAD set together in AutoCAD in ID 22. But I am going to just give you some information, and then we are going to work in another program that I think you guys are going to like. Okay, so let's get started. So what we're going to do this lecture is introduce you to CAD that's used in interior design. We're going to tell you about the common software that we use, design standards, and drafting and drawing types for interiors. So what does CAD stand for? Computer Aided Design. So it is any software that is used to create drawings in architecture or interior design. So the benefit of these CAD drawings as opposed to hand drawings, like what used to happen, is that they are very, very, very precise, and they might take a little longer on the front end to set up, but they're very easy to manipulate once they have been set up. So the drawing that you're looking at on the screen is called the floor plan. And so a floor plan, I like to just describe it as taking a buzz saw and just cutting right across a room at 4 feet. So all drawings are cut basically at 4 feet. And then once you've gone all the way around the room, you lift the top of that space up, you move it over, you look down, and that's basically what a floor plan is. So sorry about that. So these black thick lines are basically the thickness of my wall. And then I have 2 openings here that don't have any doors, so I can just walk back and forth. Then I have this opening in the wall, which is a window. And I know that because there's a line that goes through it that represents the glass that happens in a window. And then this is the exterior sill of the window where the pigeons sit, and then the interior. So I have window, wall, window. I have a fireplace that happens here, and I know it because of the drawing, but also because it's labeled. And then I have window, window, and another opening. So in terms of furniture, I have sofas. So again, you kind of have to imagine what it would look like if you were a bird looking down. So I have my sofa. So this is sorry, I keep losing my mouse. So this is my sofa back, and this is my sofa arm. I have a coffee table. I have chairs, table, ottoman. This looks like a secretary, some sort of desk, plants, and an existing bench. And then these are lights. The circle with the X going through represents a light. So that's a floor plan. So this is how we lay out furniture, make sure that everything is going to fit, sort of plan things before the furniture arrives so that we know where things are going. So we're not, messing around with, oh, where's that going? Oh, it doesn't fit. We already know where things are going before the furniture is purchased and before it arrives. So elevations are, so this is another floor plan. So again, my wall thickness, I have my windows, I have my fireplace, which is drawn with a lot more detail in this case. I have my sofa, I have my coffee table, and I have my chair. So when I draw elevation, it just can show me one wall at a time. So it's as if I'm standing here looking at just this wall. So if this is my fireplace, I go straight up. My fireplace looks like that in elevation. I have my window here, I have my window here, my window here, my window here, and then whatever bench that was is happening underneath, and whatever cabinet is happening there. So elevation is basically a flat image of what that wall will look like. And again, that's how we start to communicate with our contractor if we're designing the fireplace or putting in the windows, exactly what they will look like, because I can't tell what they look like in plan. I know where they're going to be placed in plan, but I have no idea what they look like. So elevations start to tell us wall by wall what the space is going to look like. And then I have 3D renderings. So this is the exact same room. So this is my floor plan. This is my elevation. And now I have a really quick 3D rendering that starts to maybe visualize for me what this will look like in 3 dimensions. So now I know what the fireplace looks like exactly. I know what the sofa looks like. I know what the lamps look like. So this is what would be considered a rendered perspective. So why does CAD matter in interior design? So I would say maybe 25, 30 years ago, a lot of drawings were still being done by hand, and CAD has since really sort of taken over because it is so accurate and because it is so precise that hand drawing really, in terms of time and accuracy, can't compete with it. And so we know that computers are taking over a lot. There are a lot of different CAD programs. Some of them are still very much like pencil and pen drawing. It's just that you're using the computer. So AutoCAD is one of those that I still use and like, because it's just a tool that is you're drawing and you still have to know exactly what you're drawing. There are other programs that really do a lot for you, but that gets a little tricky, especially as students, if you don't know what it is you're drawing. So again, these drawings are really important because they communicate with not only your contractors, but your clients. And they also communicate with whatever trade happens to be there, from paint, wallpaper, carpet installation. You will have a drawing for it. So AutoCAD, I just spoke about, is basically a 2D drafting tool. So if you wanted to learn AutoCAD, that's our ID22. And then we do have a SketchUp class. I don't want to tell you the wrong number, but it's one of our design drawings. I do believe it's design drawing 3. So it is a 3D rendering tool that will give you very realistic renderings. Then there's Revit, which is also it's a BIM tool. I want to say it's a drafting tool, but it does way, way more than that. Because not only are you creating plans, but you can also, as you're creating the plan, create the elevations and the 3D drawings by letting the 2-dimensional drawing know how things fit in space. So with the click of a button, you can turn what was a 2D drawing into a 3D drawing, which is super, super powerful. And then there's Rhino, which is a more advanced drawing system that is that I wouldn't say typically, but is used a lot in industry. So all 3 of these classes we teach. I believe this is Design Drawing 1, AutoCAD. Revit is Design Drawing 2. SketchUp is Design Drawing 3. And Rhino is Design Drawing 4. If you're interested in taking a class on those. So within within the 3-dimensional drawing softwares like SketchUp, there are also rendering tools. So within SketchUp, once you have done the SketchUp model, then you can put it through V-Ray or Inkscape or Twinmotion to get a photorealistic rendering. So this is actually a rendering of an interior space. You can do walkthroughs, you can do almost anything. And a lot of them, like I can still tell because it's sort of too perfect, it's almost fuzzy, it's so perfect. But a lot of them are really hard to tell whether